Good afternoon. How are you, Dr. Candace?
I am doing excellent. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Happy Friday.
I
Happy
know.
Feel Good Friday.
Absolutely. Girl, I'm so glad it's Friday. I know the people is glad it's Friday. And yeah, today is Friday, and I'm glad it is. It's raining here. It's a little
Okay.
cold and dreary. How's the weather where you are?
It is, believe it or not, it was sunny today. It was sunny and
Oh,
cold. It was
okay.
cold, a little chilly. It was like in the 40s today, but
Okay.
it wasn't too bad. It was manageable.
Okay, good.
It was
Good.
manageable today. So
Yes, it
thank
was
goodness we ain't
raining.
had no rain.
Exactly. Right. So we had some today, which we needed, but I don't like driving in the rain. And yeah,
Mhm.
I had errands and stuff I needed to do today, but it's good. It's good. So
Right.
what's your weekend looking like? You got a planned weekend?
You know what? I don't. I
Okay.
don't. My cousin called and asked if she come over tomorrow because she wants to do laundry. So I told her, I said, "Yeah, come on over." So she coming over and she's bringing her
Good.
kids, and so we're
Good.
going to be here doing. I'm gonna be here doing that tomorrow,
Okay.
hanging out with the children, and that's about it. That's
Okay.
that's my Saturday or
Okay.
whatever. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I got going on. I think that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that's all I
Okay.
got. And the
Well, that's
kids
good.
are
It's always good.
enjoyable, so I love having them around.
That's right. That's
I
good. It's
love
always
having
good
them
to have
around.
friends and family. Yeah, this
Yeah,
weekend
yeah.
I think I'm going to. CT, you know, we always talk, but I don't think you know my passion. You do know I love plays and musicals.
Yes, I
But
do
it,
know that.
yes, because I'm going to another play. I went to one last week and I'm going to one not this weekend, but next weekend. But this
Okay,
Sunday, I love piano. I love live piano. I
okay.
do. And I love Mozart and all that classical
Mhm.
piano. So I'm thinking about on Sunday, I'm going to listen to classical piano music. I'm like,
Nice.
I love stuff like that. Yeah, I'm one of those. I know.
Yep.
Sometimes I
Hey,
go
there's
by
nothing wrong with
myself.
that.
I love it. I love it. And a lot of people don't know that about me, but I love doing that.
Yeah,
So I
there's
think
nothing
that's
wrong
what I'm
with
going
it.
to do this weekend. It depends on the weather, though. It depends
I
on the
know
weather,
that's
though.
right. Yeah, and Sunday I have clients. I do have a client on
Oh,
Sunday, and yeah, so that's Sunday
okay.
morning. I think I have one, and then I'll just be doing just regular work.
Okay.
Just regular school work and stuff. You know how it is finishing up that doctoral degree,
Right.
girl.
You know, I know. Now, let me ask T that when you say you have clients on Sunday, I've never worked on Sunday. How that's working out?
It work out good because the thing
Okay.
is, I only book those that I know will show.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, because believe it or not, everybody, being a therapist is not always easy when you decide to work on the weekends. You know what I mean? And some of
Absolutely.
these folks, they show up, and sometimes they don't. And hey, ladies, how are y'all? And sometimes they show up, and sometimes they don't. But what I did was I had to start being a little bit smarter, not hard. Work smarter, not harder. And so what I did was I assessed the folks that I was, seeing, that I my clients saw what their patterns was in regards to attending the appointments, right? And,
Okay.
and that's how I did this. I said, because at the end of the day, let me tell you, when I first got started and I was doing Saturday and Sunday, I would be so angry because you know what? My 8 o'clock would show up, but the 9 and 10 wouldn't show up, but then the 11 would show up.
Got it.
And so it's
Okay.
just like, and then I got all that I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I said that's a bit much. And so I said I need to be a little bit more due diligent about my schedule and making sure that the ones that are scheduled to come actually show up. So far, I have two that show up every that the Sundays that they're on, which is every other Sunday there, because I decided to work only 2 Sundays a month. Okay,
Okay. I like that. Okay.
kept my Saturdays off. And with working the 2 Sundays a month, I just said, only people I know will show. These women show faithfully. Let me tell you, one of them. Let me tell you, I start at 8:30 Eastern Standard
Oh,
Time. Right,
okay.
my girl is on and ready at 7:30.
Oh, yeah, she ain't playing. I love it.
She ain't playing. She
Yeah.
logged on to the Zoom by 7:45, 8 o'clock.
Okay. She
I'm
waiting on
not
you.
gonna be late. I'm ready.
That's right. I like that. She's waiting on you. I'd rather
Yep.
them wait on me than I have to wait on them.
Yep.
Right?
And so yeah, and so it was so funny. And then I decided, I said, you know what? I'm not going to sit on here all day. You know what I mean? Because before I was doing it all day. No, I said I need to. I go to church. Okay,
Hmm.
I'm Baptist. I go to church. I need to be able to worship my Lord and Savior just like anybody else do. So that's when I started changing my schedule around. And now I work until 10:30, and then
Hmm.
at 10:30 I go worship, whether I go in house or whether I go to the Zoom service. And if I want to work in the afternoon, I work in the afternoon up until time for my IG show on Sunday evenings at 6 o'clock. And that's
Absolutely. And your show is amazing. Absolutely. I love that. So I'm going to give that a shout out. And I got another shout out to give. And Dr.
what's
T, I
up,
know you will agree. Our graphics have been amazing. Do you like
girl?
that? I love
Girl, we look good, don't we? Our
it. The
graphics
graphics,
are, oh my God, I have to give it up to Protege Digital, Michelle of Gossip and Heifers. Oh my God.
yes.
Thank God for her, and and all of the talents that she has. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm telling you, it's just like, we was looking good before,
We was
but
all
we
right.
look but
Changed
we
the
look better now.
yes, it's like her. She came and she just brought it all together. It's just in sync now. I
Yeah,
love it. I am so
yes.
happy. I really am.
Very, very happy. I
Yes,
mean,
I'm so happy.
and definitely, anybody that's watching that's looking for, graphic and digital designer, definitely contact Michelle of Protege Digital.
Yes.
Um, if y'all can't reach her, you can reach myself and Dr. Candace, and we will
Mhm.
definitely get you the information so that you can get to looking just as professional as we are.
Exactly, because she is amazing. Because see, that is not my lane. I was leaving Dr. T. I was like, girl, I know we sisters, but I don't do that.
But wait a minute, you know what? And it's so funny though, Candace, because you know what, Dr. Candace, it basically it builds onto our topic of the day, which is anxiety.
I was having anxiety. I was like, no, we need Protege Digital because I'm having anxiety. I ain't gonna be able to do this with you. I
It
can't.
was like we love Canva, don't get us wrong, but
Yes. Oh,
sometimes you can get in Canva and lose yourself.
yes. I was having anxiety. I can't wait till we get to our main topic because I said, we got to do something about this. And you said, you know what? You right. And then you was like, I know what we can do. And you were right. Thank you for steering us that way. I really
Yeah.
appreciate
I
that
mean,
because you
because I was
steered us
looking at
that way.
how I look. And it's so funny because Canva sets it up for you, but you
Yes.
can still mess it up.
I know. Now I don't have to worry about it. I'm like, hey,
Uh-uh.
we don't
Uh-uh.
have to worry about
Uh-uh.
it
Uh-uh. 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 Look, we show up looking real good now.
yeah, we just show up now. I'm like, nope, that's it. I don't know.
We show up, look in the back office like, ooh, ah.
I know, and she's so professional. She's just
Yes, very,
amazing, and she know
very.
our personalities. You
Yep.
know, she
And it's
she know
good
how
when you
we
know your
are.
clients. Yep.
Yeah,
And it's good when you know your clients, you know your customers, you know who you're working with, because at the end of the day, you need somebody to understand your brand.
absolutely, and she
And
know
that's what a lot of business owners don't realize when they hiring people out there. Some will have a paper of a job form for them to complete so that they
her.
get to learn their personality. But I think from all of us being on the platforms for over the past year and a half, 2 years, and watching each other, we got an idea of how
Yeah,
everybody moves,
I
and
agree.
that plays a big role, and it cancels out that anxiety that we was having, graphic
Mhm.
design anxiety.
Yes, I was having it. I was having it bad. I was having not only that, but just maneuvering with the system itself, the
Hmm.
the computer. I mean, because you're very savvy with that. Now you was like, "Well, Candace, push this button." I'm like, you got to flat down here and push the button. I ain't gonna be able to do it."
But look, I was laughing last night when Michelle putting our messages. She said, you can download, and you put the thing download.
No. Okay.
I'm like, okay, so what can I do to make this easier for you?
I know, right? I'm like, she had me with that one. I can't. It's just I know my lane. That's
I'm
why I
sitting there like,
can't wait.
calm down, Candace.
Yes,
We
that's why I
go,
said
we
I
go
can't
get.
wait till we talk about our main topic. Cause see, I know my lane, and
Mhm.
I was being taken out of, and I don't even want to
Your
say
comfort zone.
necessarily comfort zone, because
Mm-hmm.
there's a difference between comfort zone and then your lane.
Mm-hmm.
They look alike, but they two different things. It's like, wait a minute,
Hello.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
comfortable doing it, but I don't want to. That ain't my
Right.
lane. That's still
Right.
causing anxiety.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm glad we
Exactly.
have her. She is amazing. Protege digital. She's amazing. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, do you know I say every week it's time for the tea with Dr. T? It is. So don't we love that? So with that being said, let's get into the tea with Dr. T. I love that. So
I
what's the tea, Dr. T? What you got for us today?
Oh my gosh, this week was pretty interesting because they had a lot of interesting stories that was floating around through, celebrity stuff and then just basic questions that was really, 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 really funny. You know, um, and one of the situations that I found really crazy this week was the situation with the executive from Estee Lauder, who has an earning of over 10 million a year according to Black Millionaire um Instagram page. They said a year just got fired for posting up this meme on his personal IG page and said, I didn't read the meme posting before I sent it. I'm sorry. So the question is, I mean, granted, we all do things that we shouldn't do, right? In regards to writing, reading and not writing. But the number one thing we tell people to do before you do anything, read. You
That's
know,
right.
um, you do so. I mean, he, posted this meme, claims he didn't read it, and now you're out of a job. You're out of, you done lost your livelihood. Every people done lost respect for you. A whole
Absolutely.
lot of things done happened, all based off of not reading. So you say.
That's what I was going to say. So you say. And when
Hmm.
I saw that, because you brought it to my attention, I'm
Hmm.
like, now what grown man do that? Now he probably could have got a pass if he was probably 19, maybe even 21, but you a grown man and you're in a certain position and you have a certain status and
Hmm.
you have created a
Hmm.
name for yourself just besides your name, such as
Right.
your reputation.
Yeah.
So, and you work for a reputable big name company, Estee Lauder. So you know you can't go to Avon, you can't go to no other kind of company because your reputation and that
Because
path,
and the reputation you got is not reading right now.
exactly. So, and I think it was something that's I saw the meme, but it was kind of blurry to me. Is it something derogatory?
It said my N word Snuffy got the Rona at a Chingy concert.
Yeah, very derogatory,
Very
very
derogatory.
horrible. And,
Hmm.
and this is an adult man. I think he what 40s, 50s, whatever. This is a
He too
grown,
daggone old to be making that
too
mistake.
old to be making those type of decisions
Hmm.
and
Yep.
reposting someone's stuff. We all repost little things, but you got to read it first. I don't believe
Right.
that he didn't read it.
I don't believe he didn't
I
either. I
thought,
think he
I
read it.
think, yeah, this is my opinion. I think he thought he could get away with it.
Yep. And when he didn't get away with it, then
Mhm.
you have this when he didn't get away with it.
Exactly.
Oh, I ain't read it. Come on, dog. We know you read
Exactly.
it. Come on, we know you
Absolutely.
read it.
Absolutely. The reason why I say I feel I know you read it is
Hmm.
because you reposted.
Hmm.
So, and
Exactly.
so maybe you agree with what was said, or you thought it was quote funny.
Hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying? So I don't
Right.
believe that
And
you
then
got
found
caught.
out. Right. And ain't nobody's laughing.
Exactly, you got caught. So the only
Mhm.
logical thing right now to do is like, oh my God, I didn't know. He can't say I didn't know that was derogatory because that's admitting
Mhm.
to reading it. So now he's using, oh, I didn't read it.
Mhm. I
Exactly. You
tell
feel
you,
the same
I do. I do.
way?
I really do feel the same way. Now, the second question I had, the second situation, which was a question that me and you had a conversation talking and laughing about it, right? Which was, would you turn down an engagement ring and $500,000 cash just because you love someone else? Or would you fake your love to the person that's giving you the 500,000 cash and engagement ring? And they
Well,
honest answers only.
and I
This
just
question
answer.
for people.
Now y'all know. Now y'all know this is a mental health minute. We gonna always answer honest on here.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yep.
in the day, I would take the money and I fake it till I make it. I sure would. The young Candace, 20-year-old Candace, 21 child, I think even 25-year-old Candace, would take that and fake it till she make it. However, I no longer fake it till I make it. I faith it now. And I learned that my peace means so much to me. And I don't want to wake up to with a brother that I don't care nothing about, but I have materialistic things.
Mhm.
I'm a woman with a certain status now. I can buy my own. So he
Yeah.
can keep his ring and his money because I not only have a career, I don't have a job, I have a career.
Right.
So I'm good. You can keep your money. I'd rather have peace.
I know that's right. And my response was the same.
Yeah.
In the 1990s,
Huh.
that Tyra, the 20s Tyra,
We can tolerate more.
look, under 35 Tyra,
Yes.
hmm,
Yeah.
over 35 Tyra,
Yeah.
nah, I'm not.
It hit
My thing
different.
is exhausting.
It is.
It's
It is.
exhausting. Not being authentic can be an exhausting task that I don't want to be a part of.
I don't want anything to do with it.
I don't
Absolutely
want
right.
anything to do
And
with
I'm
it.
glad that you say that when you said the old type, the under 35 Tyra. Yeah, but the a Tyra over 35, it hit different, don't it? She want
Girl,
a piece.
everything hit different.
I know. I can't tolerate
Everything.
certain things. Girl, I barely can
Mm-mm.
tolerate noise.
And it's so funny because people be sitting back and they say certain things, and I try to tell them, okay, well, when you're in your 20s, it happens like this. When you're in your 30s, it happened like that. When you get to your 40s,
Absolutely.
it gets like this. But when you get hitting towards 50, that's a
Yeah.
whole nother ball game.
Yes, because I'm hitting it too, because I'm in my 40s, but 50s is coming. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's too much noise. So imagine if I don't want the noise, how I'm going to be sitting up with a man because he didn't gave me some coins and a ring. I can buy my own ring again. I don't
Hmm.
have labor. I don't work. I have a career.
Hmm.
I'm doing
Hmm.
my passion. So I'm like, I'm good. Yeah,
Hmm.
and it's different. I can't tolerate that. So yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I like the question though, and I
Yeah.
will say this, and let me see if you agree, Dr. T. Do you still think today some women, even our age, would say they'd take the money in the ring? I do.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah, I
know
do.
there's a
Too.
whole gang of them out there that would,
Oh
because
yeah.
they don't have nothing. They don't have nothing to lose, and and sometimes it comes from of a place of where they have been. They've
Mm-hmm.
done the love thing. They done the whole honor thy thing, and it's just like, okay, all that didn't work out the first time. So now I'm here. I am where I'm at now, and now I just don't give a damn, and I'm
Yeah.
just going to do what I got to do, and
Yes.
I'm just gonna get this coin, and I'm pretend like I like you.
Exactly. And that's a hard way to live because
It
they
is.
have nothing to lose to a certain extent, but they
Yes.
do. It's called a peace.
Yeah. Once
Because
you get a piece
after
of it.
you take what he's providing,
Hmm.
and you don't know what's going to come along with that.
Hello.
There you
You
go.
don't know what kind of drama's gonna come in. Because like we always say, they bring in representatives. You
Don't they
know,
bring?
and that goes both ways. We as women bring representatives, and men bring representatives too. And you just gotta
Exactly.
hope that they all match up.
Exactly. Absolutely. That absolutely. I love that question. I love that. I'm like, oh, when you said that, I'm like, we're gonna have to do a shoulda, coulda, woulda topic. I love that like segment. I love
Uh,
it.
oh yeah, we
Yes,
gonna have to do that. We're gonna have
yes.
to
What
do
other
that.
tea? Is that all the tea? You got more tea
Well,
for us today?
I'm gonna hit one more, and that was the young man who gave the little girl his jacket because her minstrel came on when she was on the school bus, and he noticed it. He gave her a jacket before the other children recognized it to make fun of her, and it was nice that the little girl's father, he posted it on social media and shared that he wanted to thank the little boy's mother for raising such a good young man, and
Absolutely.
I mean that goes a long way because that type of situation, can cause all kinds of anger, hurt, anxiety, depression. It can, because when young ladies have this happen to them in public, especially in might as well say middle school, junior high, I mean, it's
It can
not
be a traumatic event for
very,
for us,
very,
for women, for young girls. It can be traumatic.
yeah.
And you are so right. He handled that beautifully. And when I read that, oh, my heart just melt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, that's beautiful.
Yes.
That is, I mean, she doing a great job. Mama and daddy, whoever raising
Yeah,
them,
yeah,
doing
whoever's raising
a
that
good
kid,
job.
they're doing a very good job. A very good
Absolutely. Absolutely, because I didn't have that coming up. I started early.
job.
I started my monthly early, and the boys was cruel, even though I was taken care of far
Hmm.
as hygiene and what I needed to do, because I have a good mom, of course, so everything was
Right.
taken care of. But the boys are still just cruel, and I said to myself, that never would have happened in school I went to. I'm from Detroit. I would have still been knocking them boys on side their head, like I know he lying. What you say?
Look, what did
If
I
I-
tell you? I told you we still been fighting in 2022.
Yes, we still be fighting. Like he grown, I'm grown, and I still don't like you because I remember what you said.
You know what? And people hold grudges like that too.
Yes, because it's
They
hurt.
hold grudges from the 80s. I
Yes,
remember what you did to me. I remember what you
absolutely.
did.
Those little boys I went to school with was so rude and just disrespectful. I look back now, Dr. T, and I say, girl, was they daddy in home? Who raised y'all? You know how you look back now? You know, because I had a good mama. My mama brought it. I'm looking at them like, who raised y'all? You look back on that. Yeah. It wasn't like that when I was growing up. And I'm so glad times have changed. So we got some good things that's coming out of 2022. Because you know
Yeah,
we've been touching all the bad. It's been just bad here and negativity here and especially what's going on with Ukraine and just everything. You know, it's just so
yeah,
much going on. Girl, the gas
yeah.
prices, everything. And I
Girl,
live
going up,
in California.
going up.
Yes, I went to run some errands today and I went to put gas in the car. Girl, it's 6:39.
639.
I'm out here in
Girl, we
California.
not there yet. And they can keep that out there. We
I
not there
know,
yet.
right?
We coming, but we not there. Six
Oh,
dollars and
yeah, and
39 cents a
diesel is in the
gallon.
sevens. And diesel's in the sevens.
They can keep all that. They can
Yeah.
keep it all. We don't want it.
Yes,
We
and a
don't want
case of water,
it. Hmm.
you'll never believe this. To the audience and Dr. T, I saw a case of water. They had cases. What is it? Arrowhead, $7.99.
Girl, you better order from Costco.
I know, right? Amazon. I'm gonna give me water from Amazon.
Girl, you go ahead to put the order out. You go ahead to put the order out, order or Amazon or something because that's not hitting. Mm-mm.
Yes, and that
Don't do
brought
that.
on another anxiety, and that's our topic today. Yes.
Yeah.
So, T, is that all the tea that you
That
have for
is
us,
all the
Dr. T?
tea of the day, and we're going
Yes.
to head on into our next topic. But before
Yes.
that we go in, I'm going to show a little highlight of what's coming next week.
Yes, I'm very excited about the mindset and the mental health. Yeah, because the
Yeah.
mindset, it all starts here. People want
Yes,
to
it
do
is.
things, get things together, and you got to
Mhm.
have the mindset. You got to have that. The mindset got to match your
Hello. Look, hello.
absolute. I can't wait to Monday because the mindset can match your vision. That's right.
I
But you
know
know
that's
what?
right.
Yes, we're gonna roll on into it. We're gonna talk about anxiety. Yes, the mental health minute we're gonna roll into. We're talking today, ladies and gentlemen, and it is anxiety. Anxiety is one of the number one disorders that Americans battle with. And I don't know if they know this, Dr. T, but I know you know over 40 million Americans, this is what they're saying now. Statistics are
Mhm.
saying, which I myself, and I'm pretty sure Dr. T may think this as well, think it's a little higher. Over 40 million Americans battle with anxiety. And there are all different types of anxieties, but the number one is generalized anxiety disorder. Do you know out of that 48 million,
Mhm.
6.8 million of that is generalized anxiety disorder?
I can believe it.
Yes, and most women battle with that. And what that is, ladies and gentlemen, is excessive worrying about everyday life. Now, worrying about a bill, worrying about light bill, phone bill, just worrying about life itself, that's I don't want to say healthy, but it's natural. We do
Right.
that. You know, especially if you got to take Peter to Paul to pay one thing, you know,
Mhm.
what you gonna feed the kids, you got to pick them
Yep.
up, we doing, how does work going, school, whatever. So that's I don't want, like I said, I don't want to call it an unhealthy, but it is a normal worry. But
Right.
generalized anxiety, it pivots over to excessive, where you are worrying about everyday life and it is excessive worrying and it's about things that you don't even have to worry about. So it's worrying about the everyday life, but some of those you are creating more anxiety because you don't even have to worry about them. You don't. Exactly, D. I like what you wrote. I worry about the small things. And that can be generalized anxiety when it's small things, which we can make like this, but they are normally like this. But we perceive them to be this big. That is generalized anxiety. Absolutely. Yes. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, I wonder why we do that. So the question I have for you, Dr. T, and the audience as well, please chime in. We love that. We love your feedback. Is Dr. T, why do you think people are battling more with anxiety now in the years to come? Let's just stay within this 5 years. It's more prevalent, it's higher now. What has changed from this 5 years now to last 5 years? What has changed?
Well, I think this 5 years, we've encountered a pandemic. We've
Yeah.
encountered financial issues. Finances have been depleted. We had a pandemic um, that we don't know when it's going to end. We had COVID-19, which was the whole illness that caused the pandemic to actually come. We've had a number of things happen. The Oh my God, politics. The last five to politics. You know what I mean? Political stress was on the rise this past 5 years. And it's just like when you feel like it should be ending, it seems like something else happens. And it's just like we had those four major things occur, and then now we have everything that's going on in the other countries with Russia and Ukraine. So now you got this coming in. Like we couldn't just leave everything in 2021. Um Now we're going into 2022. Now we're starting off the year with wars, and then it's just like, and then with the increase of deaths, the increase of deaths from 2020 to current, it's been, you know, out of control, because we haven't seen or lived in an era where all of this has happened. We have never ever been surrounded around so much death in our lives. You know what I mean? It's like when we went through 9/11, back, what was that, well over 20 years ago now. When we went through that, that was one thing, and granted, people had a lot of anxiety based off of that, right? But then when you have this cluster of events that happen all together, from politics with the president, the past president, then the situation that happened on January 6th of last year, it's just like everything was like mounting and building up. And so I think this is a very much increased anxiety levels, and people don't know where to turn. And it's just like, and now, oh my goodness, how could I forget about everything that happened with the racial
Absolutely.
racial disparities and all of the issues that
That
happened
was
there?
mine.
That's another
Absolutely.
piece that put on top of that. You know what I mean? So it's like when you look at it, we've had a number of situations happen
Mhm.
all at one time that we never thought we would see in our lifetime.
Exactly.
But guess what? We
You're
saw it
absolutely.
all.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Dr. T. Yes, I like
Mhm.
that with the pandemic and financial and political and also racial. Yes, that was my number one with the like what happened with George Floyd
George
and
Floyd.
Breonna
Yeah.
Taylor and the
Mhm.
Black Lives Matters and different things.
Yes.
That and especially with the pandemic as well, that has
Yes.
brought on so much anxiety for
Yeah.
millions of people.
Yes.
People that
Yeah.
has never experienced anxiety is
Yeah.
experiencing that now, and they don't know where to turn or don't know whom to turn to. A lot of people like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what's going on. Absolutely.
Mhm.
And so to that question, what has changed? The world has changed. You think so?
Yeah, the
Absolutely.
world has changed. The world has
Absolutely.
changed, right? And a lot of people don't like change.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
that's where we have to look at the statistics of people who are able to adapt to change. A lot of people can't. If you talk to five people, out of the five, you're going to have at least two that's going to have a difficulty. That's going to
Exactly.
be, oh no, it has to be this way, and it's like, no, things happen, things change, and this we see is a major problem, and this is what is heightening the anxiety because people cannot cannot adapt to it. They don't know what
Yeah,
to do.
change causes anxiety. A
Hmm.
lot of people can, like you stated, cannot adapt and don't want to change or even adjust. So
Right.
that causes anxiety. So
Yep.
that's why we have this topic today. Absolutely. And before we end, we always do, we give you a couple of tips on
Hmm.
how to do it because a lot of people don't know how to gradually do it.
Right.
People think it's this big thing, it's this big wave, like you just something that's going to happen overnight. It takes time and it's a process. But
Right.
changing brings on anxiety. And that leads and slides on into my next question. Do
Hmm.
you think treating your anxiety causes anxiety?
That treating your anxiety can cause
Yeah,
anxiety.
even knowing about it,
Oh
knowing you
yeah.
have anxiety
Yes.
or trying to treat it. Yeah, when
Yes.
I thought about that
Because
question, I said, let's go
yeah.
deep. Let's go deep. Absolutely. And you know what? I'm going to target that for a minute, Dr. T, into the audience as well. It does. Back in the day, even with our ancestors, and even just back in the day, let's just talk about even maybe 30 years ago. Let's go back maybe 25, 30 years ago.
Mhm.
When we, well, yeah, me, but I was way younger then, so I kind of didn't care. I was one of those like, what? Anxiety? What y'all talking about? What we doing? But back in the day, 25, 30 years ago,
Mhm.
what you don't know, you remember that old saying, what you don't know won't hurt you.
Mhm.
So we kind of lived by that, and we, some swept things under the rug, which I
Right.
may add is very unhealthy.
Right.
However, we just didn't focus on that. But now mental health is in your face. Whether you're on social media, you're talking to
Mhm.
someone, you're on TV, wherever you are, mental health is more prevalent now and in your face. So it
Mhm.
seems like since it's brought to the forefront, it has caused more anxiety. Knowing
Mhm.
about it, trying to treat it, thinking about it, getting help is causing more anxiety.
Yes.
Do you agree?
I
What's your take
totally
on that?
agree because the thing is, think about it. If you go to a psychologist, therapist, psychiatrist, and they're telling you that they have anxiety, right? That
Mhm.
okay, you're diagnosed with anxiety. Okay, so what I need to do to fix it? What do I need to do to fix it? And okay, so they give you medications, right? Then you come home. What else can I do? And then you're on the phone. You're calling everybody, trying to see, well, who else here got it, and what you take for it, and what you can, what. And then at this point, now you done took that anxiety that you already had downtown at the office at seeing the doctor, right? Now you done brought it home. Now your anxiety is to a level because now you're trying to fix the problem, and now you done flustered yourself and made yourself more anxious trying to fix the problem, and you
Absolutely.
become fixated on it to the point you become so fixated on it that you just can't let it go.
Hmm.
And so
Yeah,
now whoever you're working with is double work.
exactly. And that's us, ladies and gentlemen. That is us.
That
My
be us. That be
team.
us.
I
The
have
double
told
work.
so many clients, I have said this statement to them. I think your anxiety is stressing you out. Your anxiety is causing anxiety.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And how you described it is on the money. Perfect. That's how they do it. It escalates. It escalates.
Yep.
So we gotta break that. We're gonna give you some tips. We're gonna give you some things where you can cope and where you can coast through it. It's good to have coping skills, but we want
Mm-hmm.
to teach you how to coast through it. It's not a one and done. It's not I'm gonna fix this overnight and who got this and help me do this and calling everybody in the family. Everybody, we have different coping skills, but everything don't fit everyone, you
Right.
know. So
You gotta
yes,
find what works for you.
yes, sometimes your stress can stress you out.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. And
Yep.
so my next question to that, so we're gonna work on
Mhm.
that, people. We're gonna get that one. My
Yes,
next
we are.
question is do you think we use excuses to cope with our anxiety? Do you think we use excuses?
Yeah,
I do too.
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah, we use excuses to cope with our anxiety
Yeah.
because the thing is, it's just like, especially we use it as a coping mechanism because we don't want everybody else to know that we have anxiety.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So we use it as a mask. So yeah, it happens all the time. Is it the
Exactly.
answer? Absolutely not. Because at the end of the day, you still have it in your head, right? And
Hmm.
all it's doing is in your head, and now is where it was a small problem. Now it's growing into something massive because now you don't know how to fight it or face it head on, so that you can start using coping skills to get rid of it. Because what's happening is now you done created somewhat of a lie
Absolutely.
that's
That's
now
my
causing
name.
more anxiety. And it's just
Yes,
like, and now it's just a whole anxiety fest going on within your head. And now it's time to start doing what we got to do to try to get rid of it, to help you rid yourself of it.
absolutely. You are absolutely right, Dr. T. I think that we use, and some, back in the day, I used to be victim of that as well. I think some of us all of us have been victim of that, especially when you don't know. You know how you know better, do better? But when you don't, and then
Mhm.
some mask it, like you said, and we use it as a coping mechanism and we hide behind it. We
Yes.
sweep it under the rug. And we cannot do that because, again, like you stated, the problem just grows or get bigger. Because anxiety, I want everyone to know this, and Dr. T, you know this as well, is treatable. It's
Yes.
treatable if you treat it. I'll
Yes.
say that again, and I'm going to say it slow.
Say it
It's
slow.
trainable if you treat it. No
Mhm.
change, no change. You cannot leave it alone because then it's going to stay right there alone. You have
Mhm.
to treat it, but it's treatable. You can live a good quality of life with anxiety. I am
Yes.
a therapist with the therapist. I had little anxiety about graphics, and we got one of the baddest graphic designers, and she took that anxiety up off me.
Mhm. Mhm.
So there you go. It's anxiety. Anxiety can come in many different forms and faces
Mhm.
and shapes, but if you don't treat it, it will stay there.
But let me
Absolutely.
tell you, I have anxiety, right? I have anxiety of, yeah, I don't know how it started, but I worked in New Jersey, crossed the bridge every single day, and got anxiety about crossing the bridge when I was working in New Jersey every single day. So I and that was the only way to get to work. Other than that, I would have to take the long way, which would take me, I would have to leave home an hour and a half to 2 hours early to get to
Oh,
work. But taking that bridge, it was only a 20-minute ride. I got over that. Let me tell you, I created my own coping skills that was a little bit unethical. But look, I worked over there for 14 years and it got me through it, right?
that's right.
So I started with the water thing, right? I would drink so much water in the morning that when it was time for me to go drive across the bridge, I would hightail it and fly speeding across that bridge so I would make it to work on time, right? Because I knew I had to go to the bathroom from drinking all that water.
Yeah, I love
And
it.
that's how I treated my anxiety. I know it sounds crazy,
No,
but that's
I
what
love
I
it.
did. And then it was just like, and then the other times I would always make sure I aligned myself with the bus. Because it was
Okay.
three buses that would go the same time, and I would ride along the side of them so I wouldn't see the other side. You know what I mean? The water, because and that's how I was coping with my anxiety of bridges, and it was just like now, please, I just go. I'm
There
like
you go.
like it is what it is, but it
I
was just
love
like,
that.
but I had to create something because I have stress balls and everything else, but those stress balls was where you ever pop one
Huh.
because it's like
Yeah,
you know.
exactly. I
But
think I got mine back here.
you know what it
Absolutely.
was? My fear came from driving on it when it was icy in an ice storm.
Got it. Okay, I
Okay,
understand.
and people spinning out and all of that. You know what I mean? And that's where mine came from. But at this point, I just, I had to work through it.
Hmm.
And so just then, so leading into what we're going to talk about in regards to coping skills, you have to find what works for you. You know,
Absolutely. Yes.
I don't advise what I did.
Yeah, no, I like it. Hey, I like it. So let me tell you one of mine. Since Tyra is sharing, I'm going to share as well.
Mhm,
Absolutely. I don't know if everybody knows this, what Tyra does. She knows this. Dr. T knows this. I am an introvert. I am a very big introvert. This is a platform that me and my sister created so I can get on here and do my thing, but I'm an introvert and I have social anxiety. I
mhm,
don't like talking and speaking and
mhm,
to people a lot. I know in the career that I'm in, but that's one on one, and then I
mhm,
teach as well, so that's a little different. Especially when it's something that's my passion, I can do it.
mhm,
However, I had to literally set a timer for me to go on Instagram Live when I first started. I had to get my phone, set the timer to 5 minutes, push the live button, and go on there and talk. As soon as it go off the timer, I'm like, okay, thank you everybody, and hang up. I did that twice and I got out of it. And now I can go on there and now I have all things relationships. I can
Mhm.
go on there. People can come in my live. But that was one of my things. I did
Wow.
not want to do that. And that's how I did it. I timed myself. I said, okay, I'm going to do 5 minutes. Then
Mhm.
I do 7 minutes. Now I catch myself being on that 49 minutes, sometime an hour. So I had to practice. I had to time myself. I had
Mhm.
to give myself that. So that was one of my coping mechanisms because I had anxiety from
Mhm.
that. Social anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get it. You have to find what works for you.
Yep. Yep.
You have to
Exactly.
find something that's comfortable. And if it's as timing yourself, if it's drinking water so you can cross the bridge, so you can use the bathroom, because you knew what was important. I got to get across this bridge. I don't have a choice.
Exactly. Because I'm not peeing in my car.
Exactly. I love it. Exactly. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you, some of the psychological symptoms of anxiety that you may have and may not be familiar.
Mhm.
Psychological would be stressed out,
Yes.
emotionally drained,
Mhm.
scared or have fear, worried, frightened, or very panicky or irritable. That are some of the psychological symptoms. Now, some of the physical symptoms would be shaky, nervousness, disturbed sleep, have insomnia, heart palpitations, headaches, but not one or two a month, but excessive headaches is some of
Mhm.
the physical symptoms as well. Tightening
Mhm.
in your chest and stomach. You feel like your stomach is in a knot. That is some physical signs. And sweating is some of the physical signs as well. So those are some of the psychological and different physical signs of anxiety that you may not be familiar with, that you can, now that you can say, maybe I have anxiety about something, especially if you're having some of these when you're in certain
Mhm.
situations. So be mindful of that, because if you are having some of these psychological or physical symptoms in certain situations, that situation can be a trigger for you. That's how
Mhm.
you learn your triggers. That is how you learn your triggers. Absolutely. So that
Mhm.
is how you learn. So what I want to talk about as well, just gonna add this on there. Dr. T, do you think people are pretending? Do you think people are pretending to be okay?
That they're pretending to be okay.
Yes. Yes. Do you think
Um,
people pretend to be okay?
I
I do.
think I think there are some who pretend that they're okay, but then I believe it's some out there who truly have the issues, that's going on. And the reason I say I feel there are some that pretend because sometimes we have a lot of people out here that want to do what everybody else does. So in regards to if this person has it, I have it because they have it. And when you have that monkey see monkey do effect, and you think that you have what the other person has, that leads you into believing that you are experiencing anxiety and things, because a lot of people will say that they have it. When you talk to somebody, hypochondria is something that's real, right? And that's pretty much where people, in their mind feel that they're ill, right? But they really not. Okay, they really don't have anything wrong. It's just that other people may have called them and told them about their illnesses and everything. And when you start hearing stuff so much, you start believing you have it, and then that start causing you anxiety. Or you might get that phone call. Have any of y'all got that phone call where somebody call you telling you their illness, and next thing you know, like, shit, I got them symptoms too.
Me too. Yes,
And you
absolutely.
all of a sudden, you're like, you're a part of the Me Too group. You're like, me too, me
No, yes.
too. We not gonna be like, we not doing the Me Too movement. We not doing Me Too.
Yeah.
My thing is, if they have, let them have their illness
Mhm.
alone. You
Mhm.
don't have to join the party unless
Mhm.
you truly have it. Because now you're causing yourself anxiety. Now you're, adding up medical bills because you're going to the doctor. going to see about it, but yeah, I believe that can happen where people, some
Absolutely.
people may pretend like they have it, or they might be a hypochondriac where they're saying that they have it and they because they made their mind believe that they have it.
Exactly. I do believe as well that some people are pretending to be okay because that is the norm. That's the norm thing to do, especially when they were okay. And like we talked about earlier, as you grow in age, there's certain things that we can tolerate. So now you're not able to tolerate certain things, whether it even be noises, whether it be driving to the store, whether it's dealing with certain people, even within the family, and you're like, okay, they giving me anxiety. You can, because you can go without anxiety your whole life and then hit your 40s or your late 30s or 40s and 50s, and you like, things are starting to bother me and make me feel a certain way that I have never experienced before. I used to be able to sit over your house and play spades and fry fish. Now I don't even want to see none of y'all give me anxiety. Things I used to can do was though I was okay with, and now even thinking about it can bring on anxiety. So that's yeah. So you're right. I think some people are pretending because not all, but some, and it's okay. People need to know that it's okay. Oh, did we have a question or did we have a comment,
Yes,
Doctor?
we have a comment. Granny Wowzer says, I have called it smiling depression for myself. So I come across as happy and loving, which I am. However, I master masker, also known as smiling depression.
Yes,
I like
I'm
that.
familiar with that. Yes, a lot of
Hmm.
people do that. A
Yes.
lot of people
Mhm.
battle with that, where they live through it. They
Yep.
become numb, and then you just living and you just going through the motions.
Yep.
You going through the motions. You become robotic, and it becomes, this is what I do. Your
Yep.
new normal.
Yep.
This is it. I
Hmm.
feel one way, but people perceive me to be another.
Hmm. Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, with that being said, and it's time for that segment. So, thank you for that, Granny. I really think, thank you for that. I appreciate that because it's
Yeah.
time
Thank
for
you.
us to give some tips on what people can do if they may be battling with anxiety. What tips you got, Dr. T?
Well, some of the tips that I have, number one, I want you to be able to relax, right? I want you to be able to count to 10. Okay. Um, putting your mindset into another place, trying not to focus on the actual issues that you're experiencing right at that moment. I'm gonna take it one step further. I'm gonna also say a tips that I have contain diet. Watch your diet, right? Because there are certain foods that we eat that can trigger anxiety, such as fried foods, processed foods, any foods with additives. Additives meaning red dye number 9. I think we all know about the red dye number 9.
Yes.
It takes a whole, it can, oh my God, it goes to so many levels. Caffeine and sugar. Sugar intake is linked to everything pretty much. So just being mindful of those things. Now, one thing I will say is there are foods that you can eat that will help you with coping with anxiety, right? And one of the foods that can help improve your mood and reduce your anxiety, y'all not gonna believe it when I tell y'all, because we just talked about this a few minutes ago, Dr. Candace. Bananas.
She know I know. But I can eat 4 a day.
For an extra stress busting boost, bananas will help you. Okay,
Mhm.
when you starting to feel a little anxious, if you got a banana, start to eat one. I'm
Mhm.
not saying it's 100% foolproof, but what it will do is start helping you, bringing you down, bringing down your anxiety levels a little bit. Almonds also
Yes.
help with that. So just being mindful of the foods that you are eating, and making sure that you're taking proper vitamins also, making sure that you're getting that. Other foods that can help you, that is somewhat helpful with that also, is like oatmeal and quinoa, and anything with like grains can help
Yes.
you also with anxiety. And so just making sure that you making sure that you try that. And also, one of the rules that we have for anxiety is called the 3-3 rule. And what the 3-3 rule is, look around you and name three things you see, then
Hmm.
name three sounds you hear. Finally, move three parts of your body, such as your ankle, your finger, your arm. And with doing that, that and doing breathing as well will help you with coping with anxiety.
Yes, absolutely. Those are beautifully said. Those are great, especially the three threes that you stated, because those help with panic attacks, especially. Absolutely. Now, the ones that I have is absolutely deep breaths. When you are battling with anxiety, whether it's an internal panic attack, or just high anxiety, and you need to bring it down. And like Dr. T said, sit by yourself, sit quietly, uncross your legs. It's like taking your blood pressure. Don't cross your legs. It's like getting a haircut. Don't cross your legs. And yeah, and you just sit quietly and you just breathe in and breathe out. You can do that maybe 5 times, take deep breaths, and then start to breathe naturally. That would definitely help. Also, meditation. Meditation is amazing. Let me tell you, people, it saved my life. And by saving my life, it saved some people's life so I wouldn't have to go after them. So, yeah, meditation is amazing. Absolutely. Music always make you feel good. I don't know what you like, whether it be the R&B classics, whether it be any type of classics or old school. Music is always good. It sets the tone for you mentally, and it makes you remember. It spray off those feel good endorphins, and it makes you remember good times. So music is good. And then also, pay attention to your body. Your body is the first to respond, and your body is the first to let you know what's going on. Not always up here, it be the body. So pay attention to your body. The next one is learn to stay in your lane. Now some people will say, you heard this term, get out of your comfort zone. Getting out of your comfort zone and staying in your lane are two different things. Getting out of your comfort zone is something, of course, we all want to do. We want you to do that, but we want you to stay in your lane. When those are two different things, if you know that over there, whatever over there looks like brings anxiety, then stay in your lane. Don't go over there. So that's what I mean by that. The next one is create. It's called, and this is what I have formulated for my clients, for the people that I counsel. It's called BS days. We all know what BS means. And guess what? BS gonna be in everybody's life. BS show up. BS follow you like credit. You know how your credit score follow you? BS do too sometimes. So you gotta set a time or a day for that. Mine's is Mondays. I'm like, okay, I see y'all coming with that. I ain't gonna worry about that until Monday. I'ma handle it then. So create and have a BS day. So you know, oh, this is what I need to handle that on here. So it won't create so much anxiety. You won't feel you have to take on so much. You've created a day and time for that. So you can say, I got time today. Y'all heard that saying? That's a BS day. Be like, I got time today. What we doing? And that's how you grade. So it won't bring on too much anxiety. You don't have to do that on no Friday. Today is Friday. Today is relax and just relax and having a good time and just getting everything up off you. Create a BS day. So those are some coping tips that I would like to leave for you. Yes. So any last words or any comments from the audience, Dr. T?
Everybody is just expressing they are happy with the information that we gave today. Wow, interesting, good to know. Some good old Motown. I love this really. So everybody is feeling what we throwing out there today, Dr.
That's right.
King.
So y'all picking up what we putting down. I know
Yeah,
that's right.
some great tips. Yes, yes. They
Absolutely.
down today. This was
Yes.
awesome. So yeah, this was an awesome show today.
Absolutely. So we hope everyone tune in for next week. And next week, what we got going on next week, Dr.
Girl,
T?
what we
It's
gonna show them right now?
yes, I am excited about
Yeah,
next week's show as
yeah,
well
I
because
am too. Because next week, yeah,
yes,
television health is something that everybody has questions about. So this is
Absolutely.
definitely some a topic that we're going to address next week because we
Yes.
want everybody to be informed, informed, informed. We want y'all to
Mhm.
always be informed and know of everything that's happening out here. We definitely want y'all to tune in. Are you on tonight, Dr. Candace?
No, I'm not on tonight. I decided to rest. I will be on next Friday with all things relationships, and that will be next Friday. This Friday, I'm going to relax.
I know that's right. Well, I'm gonna promote my show. What I have coming up on Sunday.
Mm. Yes, yeah, and it's a great show. Everyone tune in. It's on Sundays at six
Yep.
o'clock, and that's Eastern Standard
Yes.
Time. I'll be
Yep.
tuning in. That would be great.
Yes. And make sure y'all watch Dr. Candace on Monday
Oh,
also. And so yeah, so before we leave, all of you, I know we have some. Let me see what other uh Alex wants you to kick back and relax, Dr. C.
I am, because I've been working 12-hour days.
I know that's right. Kick back and relax. All right. So before we close out, we'll give another word from our sponsors and then we'll go ahead and close it out.
Yay! I love it.
Yes. Well,
I
we
love it.
thank everybody.
Yes, I
It
love it. This was a great show, Dr. T.
really was.
Really was. I'm excited about next week because telemental health is something that you and I are both doing, and it does
Yes.
have some pros and cons. So please, please, ladies and gentlemen, please tune in because we would love for to hear your take on it, and we want you here. Please like and subscribe and share, 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 and thank you. I am Dr. Candace Elaine, and thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And I am Dr. Tyra. I want to thank all of you for joining us this evening. We want you all to have yourselves a happy, happy, happy weekend. Be happy, healthy, safe, and prosperous this weekend, everybody. God bless, and we look forward to seeing all of you next week.
Yes, yes. Bye.
Bye.